Hi guys, so today I'm very excited to present to you a brand new project that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I'm hoping it's going to become a really useful resource for Japanese learners. So about 1.5 years ago I started my business, Polylingual Solutions, where I was doing language teaching, translation and various other language services, but I knew that in the future I wanted to start producing sort of unconventional language course content. So I've been working extremely hard for the last 18 months on various things in various languages. And particularly in Japanese, I now have really a lot of courses that are going to be coming out starting in the next few months. I'll keep you updated. For example, I have a course series all about learning Japanese through reading. So it starts out with a 9-part series, and you can sort of get each one individually. The idea is to take you through 9 Japanese graded readers, but with lots of support and resources, and it's basically like a video course that will help you go from reading pretty basic stuff to reading pretty advanced Japanese content in a very short period of time. And I've been experimenting with this system on my students for quite some time now, and it works really, really well. And then there's a series after that about about tackling Japanese essays and real Japanese short stories, and then we're going to progress into actual courses about reading a Japanese novel. Right, and then after that I have another series I'm very excited about, and it's a whole course all based on a real authentic Japanese audio drama, right? And there's like 22 episodes, so there'll be a little mini course for every episode where I break down the entire thing in video format with also written transcript, translations, grammar explanations, study materials. So I'm really excited because this is the kind of stuff that usually you wouldn't be able to access as a intermediate learner even. I mean, you have to be pretty advanced even just to study something that complex and that authentic, quote unquote. And so I want to give people the ability to access that content because I think it can just really improve your Japanese so quickly if you can find a way to access it and to learn from it. So, but on top of all of this, of course, I want to make a lot of free content. And I want to make stuff that's useful and somewhat, different or innovative. And so I've been trying to think, what could I do to make a resource for Japanese grammar that would be at least different, if not better, or more convenient than what's already there. I've finally had the idea of creating the YouTube Japanese grammar reference. Okay, so in Japanese, most of the great textbooks, like the Genki series, that if you're learning Japanese, you've probably heard of it or used it. I remember the good old days using Genki I, then I used Genki II, and then I progressed into an intermediate to advanced book, and then the rest was sort of history. And so the way it's set up usually is you'll have your chapters, and each chapter has like bullet points, right, where they go through little points about Japanese language or grammar. So in the beginning, it'll be like chapter 1, point number 1, what is wa? Point number 2, what is no? Point number 3, des, the copula, And then later on, you'll start getting into things like the past tense, the future tense. And then you'll start talking about tef form, and then you progress up and you start getting into sort of grammatical patterns and structures. And in Japanese, when we talk about bunpo, which is sort of grammar, we typically are actually talking about bunke, in my opinion, which is like a grammatical pattern. So for example, let's say you get to like chapter 7, point number 1, and it will say something like nani nani, like dictionary form plus koto ni naru, or dictionary form plus koto ni suru. Right? So basically what it's going to be is I'm going to make a pretty massive series of short, concise videos. Hopefully they'll be entertaining a little bit, so it's fun. And basically these videos will cover all of these little bullet points that we talked about. All right, so we'll start off again with the wa and the ga and the little particles and the basic stuff. We'll go to the tef form. We'll talk about, dictionary form koto ni naru or koto ni suru, or we'll talk about yo ni naru, or potential form plus yo ni naru. For example, shousetsu ga yomeru you ni natta. Right? Like I became able to read a Japanese novel. And then we'll talk about things like nakereba naranai, how to say I have to do something, or colloquial versions like nakucha, right? Or we'll talk about teshimao. We'll break down deep analysis of sort of the nuances. Well, and then we'll talk about, once again, colloquial versions of that, like, shichatta. So my goal is that eventually there could be this huge resource hosted here on YouTube on my channel, where you could come to YouTube and you could just type in whatever you want, koto ni naru, koto ni suru, you ni naru, igai ni, uchi ni, whatever. And hopefully there'll be a nice, short, concise video that can explain it to you very quickly in a way that's convenient. So obviously this isn't, I'm not saying it's going to be better than what's out there. There's the legend. If you type in on Google right now, any of these things, you'll probably find a forum or an article, or maybe you'll even find the legendary Tai Kim's Guide to Japanese Grammar Reference. But it's just to try to provide another medium for this stuff. And I know in my case, when I Google like a language question, if I see a YouTube video right at the top that has the exact title of what I'm looking for, I'm probably going to click that first because I really enjoy learning through video. And so anyway, so that's pretty much it. I'm very excited. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of other free content coming out, such as I got a whole new series all about amazing tips to improve your spoken Japanese. And I'm going to try to make these things that are less commonly spoken about, but things that I've observed have really helped my students improve their Japanese over the years. And I'm also going to do a series on YouTube as well about learning through reading, because I really want to encourage people to not be afraid of reading in Japanese, because it's an amazing thing to engage in. But I'll make another video about that. So anyway, I'm just very excited. So please, if you're interested in this, then subscribe so you can get updates on all of these new videos. And if you know anybody that is learning Japanese, then I'd love it if you share. And once again, this isn't just for learners. I think this could be a great way, even if you're an intermediate learner or maybe even advanced, and if you just want a very quick, convenient way to review all the basics up through advanced. It could be good. So please email me at robin@thelifeofrob.com if you have any questions about Japanese grammar, if there is elements of the language that you find difficult, that you think would be good to be included, and I will basically gauge where they fit, because I'm going to do things in order, like I said, from beginner all the way to advanced. And I'll make sure that your questions get answered. So I really, really want to do a good job with this, and I want this to become a resource that people go to for explanations on Japanese grammar. So thank you guys very much. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu, and see you next time.